On to the main final. Lee Kemp carries one of our cameras. He starts this final in 9th place. Champion-elect, if you like. He leads the championship comfortably. Simon Young carries another. He starts on grid 15. Sure to be plenty of action on Simon's camera. Here's the championship position. Lee Kemp has a commanding 59-point lead over Matt Brooks. Matt Brooks starts this final in 14th. James Aker starts it 3rd. Glenn Beard starts on pole position. So we're going to get some fireworks, I'm sure. Rolling round. Richard Hyam has qualified on the front row with him. Superb qualifying by Sean Hollingsworth, Walid Norris and Scott Martin. You can say the same about Craig Johnson. And look out for Stephen Duker starting this final in 7th place. Well, here we go. The pace car about to pull off, and he does. We're racing here at Clay Pigeon in the A final in the lightweight class. Beard has got the lead ahead of Akerst, side by side with Hyam. Simon Young behind Sean Martin. Let's watch them charge through Billy's blind. Akerst going for 2nd. Lee Kemp push wide. Hyam's got 2nd. Oh, more contact on Lee Kemp. That's Darrell Boyle going through. And it's left Sapala and Hansen parked in the S's. The midfield scrap, 3 wide into every corner. Lee Kemp ahead of Steve Townsend, so the championship leader's up to 11th. Let's check the top 10. So it's Glenn Beard, Richard Hyam, James Aker, Stephen Duker, Walid Norris, Simon Young, Craig Johnson under pressure from Sean Martin and Philip Morton. Top 3 getting away. Duker holding up now, Walid Norris. Superb qualifying from Walid Norris. Normally see him in the C, maybe it's the B final. Well, he's suddenly found an extra turn of speed. He's side by side with Duker. He will not get through there, and Simon Young's going to take the opportunity to get past. Bit of racecraft there from Simon. Driver warning board held out there. Was that for Duker? Beard, Hyam, Akerst enjoying the solitude of the lead. Duker now has Simon Young on his bumper. Simon's looking to go through. Fails to do it. That could be costly for Simon. Norris goes back past him. And he's pointing to the outside. He's showing somebody outside. It's Morton. Morton, Martin. Darrell Boyle. Lee Kemp puts a move on Boyle. They're on board again behind Sean Martin. So Lee Kemp up to 9th. But he's missed the bus in terms of winning this race because the top 3 are away and clear. So Glenn Beard, Richard Hyam, James Akerst. Here comes Richard, looking to the inside, that's optimistic, he's pushed Beard wide. Oh, and there's more contact with Akerst. Glenn not happy with that. Simon's lost out to Phil Morton. Norris looking to the inside of Duker. Can't get it done. Now has Phil Morton chewing on his bumper. Simon Young back to 7th. Driver warning board, that's for Hyam. That's clearly for the S's. I've seen penalties for less. Johnson inside of Eddie Hall. Tim Gibson on his bumper. Morton now looking to the outside of Norris, goes narrow. Oh, and Young's trying to go around the outside. Oh, he's got contact with Martin. And that's let Lee Kemp through. Young finds himself down to 8th now. Down on the hairpin. Oh, a clear push there from Sean Martin. Got to be careful, doesn't want a reputation for being a dirty driver. Brooks is off the circuit now, where's he coming back? Oh, this could get messy. He's back on the circuit, looks like we're okay. Oh no, we've lost Tony Simpson. I am going for 2nd this time on Glenn Beard. Closing in on the bumper. Keeps his powder dry, makes a mistake, dropping his wheels over the curb. Not the quick way around turn 3. Duker. Now Morton's through. Just past Norris there on the entrance to the S's. Norris runs wide. He'll be alright to the horseshoe. Back with our leaders. Akehurst. Where's Richard Hyam? There he is. Just lost a couple of kart lengths. Dropping it over the curb will do that. Duca holding off Morton if he can. Showing him the outside. Morton trying to go around the outside of Stephen Duca. That might be a mistake. Norris under pressure from Kemp and Young. Morton clean through at the hairpin. Good move. Oh, here comes Duca. Oh, a bit of contact there. That was a cheap shot. He better wave him back through. He's doing his best. And Norris is going to take the position back as well. He spent most of the race behind Duca. Opportunity knocks. Duca's got a good engine in that car, but Kemp's going through as well, and Young's going to try as well. Oh, the door got shut. Well, I'll let you decide about that one, but it's cost Simon Young this race. He's been gobbled up by the pack. He's behind Gibson, so that puts him in about 14th place. Or like 15th. Well, he's lost out to Seward, who's now pursuing Tim Gibson, and he's got Scott Martin on his outside and Steve Townsend on his left. He loses out to Martin. What can Simon Young salvage from this final? We shall see. Seward, has he got round the outside of Tim Gibson? I can't say. Oh, well, there's contact there from Kemp. Kemp looking for 5th now. Clumsy move. He's got Sean Martin on his bumper, who has Darryl Boyle trying to force his way past. Eddie Hall up to 9th. Quiet run, but quite a lot of progress. We've got spinners in the background. Didn't catch who it was. I think that could have been Henry Jones, possibly Lawrence Toombs. Battle for 5th. Boyle still locked in with Sean Martin. More contact. It's not very clever driving from Sean. What comes around goes around. Back with our leaders. James Akehurst, Glenn Bayard, Richard Hyam. Bayard now moving on to the bumper of James Akehurst. Are we going to see a titanic struggle for victory? Oh, here comes Glenn. Good move. So Bayard back to the lead. Hyam closes in behind. Here's the fight for 5th. Whoa, Kemp going in backwards. It hasn't worked. Sean Martin up to 5th. Walid Norris up to 6th, and Glenn makes a mistake into turn 1. That's got to be punished. Well, he's managed to hang on to 2nd for now, and he's in the position to strike at turn 3. In he goes, over the curbs, runs James wide. James finds himself now down to 3rd. Norris goes in narrow. Kemp's going to do a cleverer move this time. That's more like it. Move of a potential champion. But this is what happened the previous lap. This is why it was kicking off at the hairpin. Norris turns in. Kemp. Oh, that's not the clever way to do it. Wasn't on. And you can see Boyle gets through. And then Kemp immediately back on the attack down at the hairpin. Up front, Glenn Beard, Richard Hyam trying to pull clear. Akehurst has to hang on. Can he stick in the slipstream, in the draft? Strong breeze blowing from the southwest. It's uphill as well, so if you can get in the tow, Morton clear in 4th. Jones gets out the way. Boyle, Norris goes narrow to defend from Young. Does it work? Well, sort of. Gibson picking off Craig Johnson. Matt Brooks trying to recover. Here comes Richard Hyam. Is he going for the lead? Not this lap. Well, we're on the penultimate lap. Was he practicing for the final lap? We shall see. Norris going narrow. Young trying to go round the outside. Does that work? Yes, it does. Norris going in sideways. Might get picked off by Gibson. That'll be for 11th place. On to the final lap for the leading trio now. Beard leads out. How many times has he led on to the last lap of an A final, looking for a first win? And right now he's looking at Richard Hyam, who's coming. Beard goes narrow. He goes too narrow. Hyam's on the cutback. Oh, he had to lean on him, but he's done it. Richard Hyam leads the A final. Beard now is hanging on for second. Hyam's got one more corner and 3 or 4 kart lengths, and that will be enough for a first win for Richard Hyam in Club 100.
Okay, well done. Top 3, again, a bit like we just heard, I think all the action was taking place down the end of the straight, to be quite honest, certainly towards the end of the race, so I didn't really see any of it. But you 3 were clear at the start, you 3 got away, Glenn had the lead, and you were second, I believe, Rich, James third. Then for some reason, I didn't see what happened, it happened down the end. Someone swapped places, you came out in the lead. You see what happened on that one?
I saw what happened. It was my tough move on Glenn. I thought I was on the inside and there just wasn't quite enough space. So I kind of ran him wide in the chicane and let James through. Back into third.
Okay, at that point there, it was down to third, like you said. It stayed that way for a number of laps, to be quite honest. The top 3 circulating together, nose to tail, but no one seemed to want to move, make a move. And then towards the end, I think Glenn managed to get back past James at the end of the straight. And then the next thing I remember, you were through to second place as well.
Well, they were stretching me, to be fair. I thought they had a little bit more pace than I did. And when they came together, James went down the inside. Glenn went down the inside of James, just allowed me to catch back up and get back up into second.
Okay, and then into the last lap, we all thought was it Glenn's going to win his first A final here. Everyone can see you right behind him, and I can see you go down the straight, just pulled out to have a little bit of a go. You went down the end of the straight, just managed to look inside.
No, my car had a little bit more speed than his, but he went defensive, like Glenn sometimes does. And he was too wide, too narrow, so he came out wide, and I was able just in time to get through him in the chicane.
Okay, after that it was a simple run to the flag, but you must have thought second place was as good as he was going to get there at one point.
I thought third was as good at one point, and then second I would have been happy with, but if there's a gap, you've got to go for it. So yeah, really happy.
Seen some great racing down at Pigeon over the years here today, and again, you 3 put on a great show, I think, swapping places all the time. Really is a great track, and gives everyone a little bit of room to race down here, and it's a fabulous place to win an A final, I'd say, Rich.
Yeah, it's a great track, yeah. I like racing around here. Fair play to these boys, it was a great race, yeah.
Okay, Glenn, let's hear about it all again. I thought this one was going to be done today. You had the lead at the start, and actually, yeah, again, you had a little bit of 2 or 3 kart lengths, maybe 5 kart lengths, about lap 3 or 4. But then it was nose to tail stuff after that. Sounds like James got down the inside, and for a long time you stayed there in second place behind James.
Yeah, James had a decent car, but I had more top end than him, so I could always catch him down the back there and stay with him. And I thought I'll just bide my time, wait till near the end, and just get by. I know I could have got past him. And all of a sudden, Richard's here.
Yeah, so I saw you get through, so we knew you must have had a go at James down the end of the straight to get through to the lead, and that's when Richard got through in a second. So at that point there, you had about 4 or 5 laps in the lead. You must have thought you had it this time, mate.
It's when it always happens, isn't it? How many times have I thought I got it? So it all happened down the bottom there on the chicane. You all get around the first corner, right? And it's just that chicane there. If you dive down the inside, you've got a pretty good chance of getting past.
Sounds like you had a little bit defensive to make sure he didn't come around down the inside of you in there, but of course you do always run the risk of just running a little bit wide and any of these guys giving half an inch and they're through.
Half an inch, quarter of an inch, that's all they need, isn't it?
It must happen sooner or later, mate. I was cheering you on today, after last time, and there were times where I think you really have deserved to win, but again, good points for the championship. You're always up in the top three, but I know what it means to you to win, and I can only say that it must happen one of these days.
Doesn't mean anything to me to win, I don't want to win. Won before.
I'm starting to think that a bit.
Right, into the top three. We've heard from all of them, but third place today, James Akehurst. Second place once again, when is he going to win this final? Second place was Glenn Beard. And race winner today, he left it to the last lap. He bided his time, and as we heard when Glenn went defensive, he left a little bit of gap, and he was through into the lead, rattled off the last few corners for his first win of the season. Great drive, driver number 10, Rich Hyam. Okay, great racing down at Pigeon as always. Thanks ever so much to all the drivers from this morning, Premier drivers, lightweight drivers. Have a safe journey home, and we'll see you at Lando at the end of the month.